Hey guys, Jasper here, the proprietor of this channel, and today we are going to discuss this video made by my homies Siege and Keyblade Commentaries. While it is a great video and you should go and watch it, I do have some major problems with it. So without any filler, let's just get right in to the meat and potatoes.
Hey everyone, Siege here, and welcome back to another video. This act a couple days ago, from the time we're recording this, me and Keyblade Commentaries. Yes, this is
hello.
This is my guest for today, y'all. I'm gonna leave his TikTok in the description. He gives pretty good analysis, and he talks about Sora because why not? You know?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of in my name, Keyblade Commentaries.
Yeah. Like if you did talk about Kingdom Hearts, I would kind of be disappointed. Like,
although I do need, I do admittedly need to get on more Kingdom Hearts topics because I've mainly been talking about versus debate stuff. And unironically, one of the things I've talked about recently is the topic that we're talking about today.
Yes, and it's basically, does Luffy have Toon Force, or Luffy's Toon Force discussion?
Yeah, he does, but we shall get into that later, I suppose.
This, I don't even know how to feel about this. If he does have Toon Force, if they give more evidence to it later on in more chapters, but from what we've seen, it doesn't look like he has it. But
no.
Yes, it does. It's almost blatantly obvious. But we'll discuss why when you start your debunks.
Going forward, if he does, I'm watching Luffy anymore. I'm just saying, I'm not watching.
Right.
I give up on the series. For those of you who don't know what Toon Force is, oh, my fault. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I mean, I don't think Toon Force would necessarily make One Piece bad. I just don't think Luffy has it.
Sick! An opposing opinion. I hope we get into the topic soon and discuss why you don't think he does.
I don't know why. I feel like if he had Toon Force, it wouldn't be interesting.
I disagree. Tom and Jerry remained interesting for its entire run, and that shit was nothing but Toon Force.
No, I mean, One Piece has always been a whole thing where it's always been really, I don't want to say always been really silly, but the art, it's always comedy. Yeah,
the comedy
you think you were trying to say.
Yeah, the comedy in it is good, but I feel like if Luffy did have Toon Force, I feel like it would be a lot easier. It wouldn't be at this point of the journey, Luffy's done. He's proven himself that he's worthy to be a pirate king. But if he had it the whole entire time, it doesn't seem like he would be worthy anymore. But that's just me. That's just how I view it. Y'all, a lot of people have different perspectives.
Another disagreement. I don't think Toon Force makes him any less worthy. If anything, it just makes him more worthy. No one is more worthy than the Joy Boy, the man who spreads happiness wherever he goes, spreads joy, for the lack of a better word. Toon Force inherently implies joy and laughter, so personally, I disagree.
Well, I mean, we can agree to disagree on that, but either way, it doesn't really matter because he doesn't have Toon Force.
Lol, yes he does.
Yeah, he doesn't have it, but if they drop more evidence to him having Toon Force, then this show's going downhill.
Almost as downhill as this video's topic. See, I almost insulted the video, but tricked you because I was insulting the topic because it's an annoying topic. You know what? Whatever. Fuck you. I'm hilarious.
I don't think so, but we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, agree to disagree. It all depends on how you view it. I personally, listen, I'm not saying I don't like One Piece, guys. Don't.
One Piece is great. Before we get a whole bunch of big three haters, a whole bunch of One Piece, and they're saying, "Oh my gosh, you hate Papa Luffy." Nah, we love One Piece. One Piece is actually my personal favorite within the big three.
W opinion.
And Luffy is one of my favorite main characters of all time.
Another W opinion.
I love my personal favorite in the big three is Bleach.
L opinion.
But here's my top 20 list. As you can see, One Piece is within the top 10.
So many L's and so many W's, but this isn't a review on Siege's top 20 anime. In fact, mine is arguably a worse top 20, which I'm flashing on the screen now. Feel free to roast me.
So, yeah, MLG, bro.
No one has ever done that! No one has ever done that!
Oh, baby, it's triple!
You know what I'm saying? So
MLG, I haven't heard that since like what? It's like 2000 something.
I don't even know, decades ago. But
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know what Toon Force is, okay, so basically, it's not necessarily manipulating the plot. It's necessarily manipulating your own character, meaning that Luffy can choose whatever he wants to. If Luffy imagines that he wants something, he can get it. Like,
You flashed a screenshot of what Toon Force is on the screen and still failed to explain it. No offense, but that should have been dubbed over. A basic rundown of Toon Force is that it's reality warping for comedic effect.
okay, let's say this. If Luffy wanted to get a power-up, a random boosted power mid-fight, he could do that. It's essentially... English. God, Siege, can you not speak English? Get the dictionaries, the encyclopedias, get everything. Good shit.
It's like what John Cena said. With a dictionary and a knife, you still couldn't cut a promo right.
And this is why I use scripts. While it doesn't allow me to have funny moments like this, which is absolutely hilarious, my point remains clear and straightforward. So while this style of scripting works for me, I don't think it would work for Siege and his type of content. It takes the fun away. Like, script writing is fun for me, but it's just not for everybody.
Shut up. All right. Anyway, it's basically essentially manipulating the plot, but only manipulating the plot around your character. Basically, meaning he's essentially like Bugs Bunny. So if you ever see Bugs Bunny just pull a random shotgun out of his back, or like him just do random stuff, like drawn to mountains and able to walk through them, like it's like Coyote and Roadrunner or Popeye. Popeye is a perfect example of how Toon Force
God, I love
operates.
Popeye.
Like, all right, okay. You ever see him pop a can of spinach and then his arms just get huge? He's able to, like, you know, do crazy stuff like that. SpongeBob, you know, he's able to wrap lassos around a universe. These are all perfect examples of how Toon Force operates. But the reasons that people give to back up the claim that Luffy has Toon Force doesn't really sit well with Keyblade and me. I don't know. I'm gonna let Keyblade explain this because he has a lot more experience with these topics, considering the fact that he actually likes Popeye. I'm not saying I don't like Popeye. I'm just saying he's been around for a long time, so he's seen Popeye longer than I have, and he knows how about Toon Force.
Bro called Keyblade Commentaries an old man. See, if that was me, I would not have that. See, personally, like me personally, I couldn't be having that. Like, my fiance watches my videos. Not sure if Yuto's girlfriend watches the videos he's in with Siege, but if she does, me personally, I don't want to me like that if my girl could be watching. Simply put, couldn't be me.
So the whole thing with Luffy having Toon Force, right? And like I said, I made a video on this, and I'm gonna do exactly what I did in my video. I'm gonna go through one by one each argument that was presented, and I'm going to debunk it. So first off, we're gonna start out with the argument that people seem to mostly point to, which this is such a ridiculous argument. First off, it's the whole the whole eyes where like Luffy is spinning Kaido and the eyes of Luffy popping out of his head when Kaido's shooting fire at him.
It's not really all that stupid, but go on, tell me why you think it is.
Guys, come on.
Let's
not pretend like exaggerated proportions aren't a part of anime already. We see it not just in One Piece.
It literally happened in Skypiea when he was fighting Enel.
This is a complete and total lie, or is just misunderstood at the very least. Enel's eyes are still attached to his head and still in his eye sockets. Kaido's eyes aren't attached to his body at all. That simply doesn't work as a debunk.
Like, remember when Enel made that?
And not even just that. We've seen Usopp do this multiple times, even where like there's a manga panel, and I have to find it.
Yes, 2 panels in One Piece that actually does it, and is once again done for comedic effect, much like what Toon Force needs to be. Thanks to James Daly, but he calculated that the amount of these faces made in the actual manga was only twice, while the rest of the faces were anime exclusive, which as he stated makes up 0.02% of One Piece. Meanwhile, Luffy's supposed Speed Force took up 3 of 21 pages, which makes it 14% of the pages in a single chapter. There's a distinct difference in percentages here, and once again, Usopp's and Enel's eyes are still attached to their head.
But Usopp literally has his jaw dropping and his eyes twisting out of his head. It's crazy. Like, they really tried to use this example for Toon Force.
Yes, because his eyes are still attached, and Usopp is more often not a comedic relief character. Here's a direct quote from TV tropes. Some characters are well-rounded, some are flat, some rarely ever appear in works except to be picked apart and made fun of. So it makes sense for him to make such a ridiculous face. This doesn't inherently debunk anything, and once again refers back to the 0.02%, but please, go on.
Exaggerated proportions have always been a part of like anime, whether it be shonen, isekai, any form of anime, for comedic purposes, and this should not be any different. I don't know why people thought that this would be a Toon Force thing, but it's really not.
Because it is. Which again, we will get into as you present your evidence.
That's number one.
Another thing that people try to bring up is, you know how, alright, Luffy, when he fights, sometimes he, like, blows into his thumb. This is, like, an example when he was fighting Kaido, and many, many more. Katakuri, he, like, pumps his thumb, and then, like, it makes his fist bigger. A lot of people compare that to when Pai Pai, you know, eats spinach, and then his arms grow, which, I mean, it's a great comparison, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he has Toon Force.
This is something I actually agree with. I've personally never seen anyone use this argument before, but if people do, it's really dumb to do so.
Now, for Joy Boy specifically, they try to use the argument that he can grow his limbs without blowing into his thumbs, to which I say Luffy was already doing that after the time skip. He was already doing that after the time skip. I'm pretty sure we've all seen that. Like, this should not be, like, something evident for Toon Force. Like, Luffy has always been growing his limbs, first off. Like, it's so dumb. By that logic, Choji from freaking Naruto has Toon Force. Like,
yeah, exactly what I'm saying. Like, Luffy, like I don't know, if you remember this, but early in One Piece, like Luffy did. Whoa. Pause. Okay, I'm sorry for the inconvenience, guys. Whatever my past self was saying, because he was lying to y'all. I meant to say when he was fighting Zoro, post Arlong Park arc, I think. I think that's when it happened.
Whiskey Peak arc, which is after the Reverse Mountain arc, which is after Lopetown arc, which is after Arlong Park. But sure, I suppose you could say post Arlong Park arc.
He was fighting Zoro, and he pumped his arm up out of rage because Zoro attacked everyone that fed Luffy. So yeah, he got really butthurt about that. So yeah, I don't know what I was talking about because I was telling y'all some nonsense. So completely ignore what the heck I'm about to say or whatever. I don't know what my past self said. So by the way, Goku Solo's reverse. Stay mad.
Man is spitting for real.
This thing where he you know how he puts his hand on his shoulder and lines his arm or something like that. Mm-hmm. And like his arm, like you know how he's like really skinny and like he pumps his arm up like it's buff now. Like that's like a common thing in anime. Like
yes, this is called flexing. Quite a common occurrence in the real world too, my boy.
People do that. Like it's not just in One Piece. That's happened in like multiple TV shows.
And in real life, flexing exists.
And anime too. But like that doesn't necessarily mean that every anime or every cartoon character has Toon Force.
It's like let me ask you a question, ladies and gents. Does Mr. Fantastic have Toon Force?
Does Ant-Man have Toon Force? Does Ant-Man have Toon Force?
This argument doesn't work, unfortunately. Mr. Fantastic and Ant-Man's powers are granted through scientific names. They adhere to the rules of reality, explainable through quantum mechanics, as Ant-Man is. Reed Richards became elastic due to being exposed to radiation from cosmic rays. Well, I don't agree that Luffy morphing his body's Toon Force. The examples you gave don't work. It's a science versus magic debate.
No, this is not something Toon Force. It could just be another like stretchy ability. Like I said, Mr. Fantastic does this. Plastic Man, God, I hate Plastic Man.
Yeah, fuck Plastic Man.
Plastic Man from DC does this. This is not a Toon Force thing. So that's getting that argument out of the way. Another argument, and this by far, in my opinion, is the stupidest argument. Luffy laughing during the fight.
Dumb on its own, yes, but the Luffy laughing argument isn't a solo argument. It gains its grounds through the other arguments backing it up. Sure, soloing it out makes it seem dumb, but with the other evidence, it makes everything stronger. Think of it like a bow. The rest of the arguments make up the ribbon, while the laughter becomes the knot.
Oh, man, bro.
Let me break down why this is such a dumb argument. First off, Toon Force normally is when the author is not words. You're contagious right now, Siege. You're rubbing off on me.
Wait, whoa. Stop throwing shade at me, Keyblade.
I'm throwing shade. Because you got me out of my whole flow and everything like that. This is on you.
You know, we're gonna have a conversation at the end of this video, or like,
yes, sir.
We're definitely.
Okay.
Hate you, bro.
So, all right. So, anyways, normally Toon Force is used when the author is trying to make an attempt at humor to make the audience laugh. Something being funny to Luffy does not mean that Toon Force is being applied here.
Even with soloing it out, the debunk you gave here doesn't work. It's consistent through many cartoons that characters are aware of their Toon Force and laugh at it. Referencing Tom and Jerry again, Jerry consistently laughs at what happens to Tom, which is usually pain delivered to Tom via Toon Force.
And, you know, Luffy finding something funny during the fight doesn't apply to Toon Force because by that logic, the Joker, like normal base form Joker from DC Comics, you know, whenever he's fighting Batman, by that logic, Joker has Toon Force. It's such a stupid argument.
This is a false equivalency, otherwise comparing apples to oranges. This was done previously using Ant-Man, Reed Richards, and motherfucking Plastic Man! But there, it kind of made sense. Here, it doesn't at all. The Joker laughs at everything. He's the Joker. It's a part of his character. However, with Luffy, he's laughing directly after the eye bullshit he did to Kaido and laughing at the state he's in after the fact.
Vegeta has Toon Force because he laughed at
Now, Goku, actually, Kid Goku does have Toon Force in the manga, I will say that. But
yeah.
Kid Goku in the anime, by this logic, has Toon Force.
Like, bro, it doesn't make sense. I mean, Goku has Toon Force because he bit Majin Buu mid-fight.
No. Siege. Madara has Toon Force. Madara has Toon Force.
Madara. Sasuke has Toon Force.
On God. But yeah, no, this is such a stupid argument.
I agree. Your argument is stupid.
And then, there are two more arguments that I actually do want to go through. Number one, Luffy, you know, turning the ground all elastic and everything like that.
That's just now manipulation. It's so basic to understand.
I do see why. Okay, I do see how this could be misinterpreted because Toon Force does tend to allow the user to, you know, manipulate the reality around them for offense or just for comedic purposes or whatever.
Oh, but yeah, like when Bugs Bunny, like, or like when Roadrunner and them, like, you ever seen like in TV shows where like they're going through a rock in like a desert road or whatever, and then like they draw like a opening to go through like a train tunnel, and then like someone's able to go through them, but then the other person tries to do it, but they can't do it. It's like that. Like, I can see why people would think that, but once it's breaking down. Once it's broken down, you would just know that this is basic matter manipulation.
The fuck did he just say? Did my boy for real just say matter manipulation? Sure, maybe if you singled it out. Maybe it could work and you could argue matter manipulation, but with everything together, it can't simply be matter manipulation. I don't know where you got the idea of him making the ground elastic, but he doesn't. He picks up the ground and uses it to block an attack. Keep in mind the same attack was shown to put a hole in a mountain and completely erase a large castle. It being stopped by some dirt is simply impossible. Not just that, it couldn't be matter manipulation, as increasing the density of something is not one of Luffy's powers. So I don't see how matter manipulation could even be somewhat attributed to Luffy in this situation.
Didn't know that Donald was in your house today.
Yeah, he's currently watching.
Nah, he's in your closet. He's in your closet. But the whole thing with that argument, right, is that Luffy's fruit is a Zoan type fruit. He has the ability to turn things into rubber.
This is just flat out incorrect, completely. One, the users of a Zoan type devil fruit gain the ability to transform into an animal as well as transform into a hybrid form of their own species, and the species the fruit allows them to transform into. Nowhere anywhere does it state they change the matter of physical objects. The only fruit that comes to mind that has done something like this is the Mochi Mochi no Mi, which is only able to do it in its awakened state. And the Mochi Mochi no Mi is not a Zoan, it's a Paramecia. So, no, this is just wrong.
So him turning the ground into rubber at best is really just matter manipulation. It's not Toon Force. And now one more thing, and I couldn't find a debunk for this until tonight, and I looked this up earlier. A lot of people will try to use Kaido having stars around his head as an example. To this I say...
Wait, what? Bro, I didn't even know that. What?
That's why I sent you the images in DM for examples of like how to debunk this, right? Because this is so stupid. So, like I said, people try to use Kaido having stars around his head for Luffy having Toon Force, to which I say there have been non-Toon Force examples of stars around someone's head. Literally, Pokemon has done this multiple times.
False equivalency again. Show me examples of it in One Piece, not other shows. Also, the stars around Kaido's head are closer examples to those of cartoons rather than the examples you've given from a completely different verse.
Piplup has had like spinning torchics around its head. There's been another Pokemon with literal stars around its head. Having stars around your head after you got rocked or you're dizzy does not always apply to Toon Force. Like
I'm glad that you know the names of these Pokemon, because I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. The only Pokemons I know are Onion Turtle,
the fact that you call it Pokemons just shows me how much knowledge you have on Pokemon.
I think it's Onion Turtle, the floor poop.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
The 3 floor poops.
All right.
Everyone knows that this one is Big Meat Bee. Come on, like.
I love the reference to this meme. It's a shame Yuito doesn't seem to get it.
You already know. Like,
I hope the Pokemon fans get on you before they realize you're referencing another TikTok video of a skit for Pokemon Go.
Yes.
Well, there we go.
Yes, I am, bro. And, bro, I know Pikachu, I know Pikachu, though.
Oh, that's Pikachu. Everyone knows.
Oh, that's Pikachu.
No, that video was so funny. But yeah, those are all the arguments that I've come across and I've had to like really look into. And admittedly, at first I was one of these people who thought Luffy had Toon Force until I actually, started thinking about it. Like I actually started doing my own and analyzing of the manga panels and everything like that. And realistically, I don't think this is enough to say that Luffy has Toon Force. And like even if it is Toon Force, there is no quantification of how powerful he is with the Toon Force, so it really doesn't matter.
And a lot of people tried to say that he had Toon Force before he ate the god food or whatever that.
Well, this is basically the end of their video. They go on about something I don't really have a problem with. However, I think you should go and watch this video on your own without your boy interrupting it. So let's go into conclusion. Most debunks they tried to give for Luffy's Toon Force were by saying, well, they do this in a completely separate piece of fiction, so they must have Toon Force too. LOL, ROFL, MAO. Which simply doesn't work. And the times they didn't do this, they showed they had misconceptions of what is true in One Piece and what isn't. Now, remember when I said wait till later and kept saying taking them away from each other and debunking each one individually doesn't debunk it as a whole? Well, here's why. It starts with Luffy's triumphant return. He grabs Kaido and Kaido's eyes pop out of his head. Luffy then spins Kaido where his eyes are once again no longer attached to his head. Both these scenes closely match that of cartoons who have done something similar where their eyes come out of their sockets in different sections and are no longer attached to their head. This doesn't compare to previous shocked faces from One Piece. Characters' eyes, as shown, are not completely disconnected from their skull in these panels. It's literally just their eyes are bulging, or it's a shocked face from a comic relief character. The debunks given simply do not work. Also, after slamming Kaido and causing his eyes to literally become detached from his brain, he's literally rolling on the floor laughing at the aftermath before Kaido unleashes his blast breath, which, as shown once, completely erased an entire castle. So, what does Luffy do? Well, he makes a face where once again his eyes popped out of his brain. His jaw dropped and his tongue is sticking out, vaguely resembling a certain face in that one cartoon, Ren and Stimpy. Then he literally pulls a chunk of ground up and blocks the attack. Not deflects it somewhere else, no, the dirt tanks the attack and completely stops it. An attack that previously, once again, erased a castle. It suddenly can't damage dirt? As for the times you reference other pieces of work, it doesn't work when comparing to One Piece. One Piece isn't a show that has constant foreshadowing. Every word, every symbol, every panel can have a secret meaning or is extremely important. While Oda does have an exaggerated art style, his effects usually aren't exaggerated and only are for comedic effect, which I pointed out the only time characters in One Piece had eye bulges was only 2 panels in the actual manga, while in the anime it's closer to 12, but that still only makes up 0.12% of One Piece does. While 14% of the new chapter does it. The percentage is too drastic to ignore. It simply can't be ignored. So in conclusion, while it's certainly possible it may not be Toon Force, with what we have been given so far, it almost definitely is. And I'd like to thank you for watching this video till its end. If you have, please again make sure to go check out Siege's channel, subscribe, and check out Yuito's TikTok. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace out.